Okay.
I looked at that before. That one is good.
And so those are very, very good resources. Let me tell you a little bit about the schedule, and I see we're coming pretty close to the end, and I have some very important. Everybody that's kind of a little tired here, in just a few minutes, I really want you to wake up, because I'm going to tell you something I think is probably one of the most important, simple systems that I've learned from a very famous person that really, 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 really will help you in your life. So get ready to wake up and listen in just a few minutes, okay? Timing. Yesterday, Mrs. O'Brien told us that the sooner you get all your application materials in a very high quality way, the more impressed and the better off you're going to be. So she said oftentimes we'll say that the deadline for application is January 15th. And so what that means to so many students is that, oh great, on January 14th I'll just send all my paperwork in and I'll be ready to go. And not only does that send the signal that this kid waits to the last minute to get everything done. Do we want a kid like that at our school? So that's number one impression that you make. But the truth of the matter is she said that she already had 60 people on the wait list by the time the deadline was coming. So think about the reality of it. She's in her office. They're getting applications in. She goes, wow, that's a good one. So she puts it in the top drawer. Wow, that's a good one. Puts it in the top drawer. Oh, boy, that one's terrible. Put that one in the bottom drawer. You know? And then all of a sudden she goes, oh, good one, good one, good one. And the top drawer now is full. And then your application comes along. It's hard for her or him to say, oh, this is a good one, but we're already full. Is there somebody in here that I should take out and put you in? That's the way it kind of works. So the truth is, it's a very good idea to be one of the first ones to go in. Really?
Yes.
That's what she said yesterday. It's been for 30 years, I've been hearing that over and over and over again. So it's a really, really good idea to try to submit as much of your application material as you can, as early and as nicely done as possible. As a matter of fact, I have a sheet that I gave you, some of you at the beginning, that has a little bit of a calendar of when you should send everything in, and it's a little checklist. Because if you send it into the mail, you should be sure to follow up, make a phone call, ask them very politely saying, I'm so interested in applying to your school. Last week I sent my application in, and I was just calling to double check to make sure that you've received it. Wow. What do you think the school's going to think about you? What do you think about it?
You are very serious in this.
Yes.
You are very independent.
Yes.
And you are very interested in that school.
Yep. And you're responsible, and you make sure. And my father was a very famous athlete. And he always said, whenever you throw a pass, there's no good, you can't throw a good pass. You have to make sure the pass is caught. You know, so call them up and say. They might say, oh, I'm sorry, we'll have to check it out and I'll give you a call back. And by the way, you're building a relationship. Every time you talk to the person, they remember you more and more and more. Oh yeah, that was the responsible kid who called to double check to make sure we got the application material. Boy, top drawer. That's going to be the way it goes. Okay, so that happens around the September and the October time period. You should be very active. If you're going to be applying for a school next fall, you should be very actively involved in trying to figure out which 7, 8, 9, 10 schools, perhaps, that you want to apply to as soon as you can. Go to the websites. If you're here in the United States, you know, and you're thinking about applying to somewhere nearby here, and you have a few extra days, go down to see the Stevenson School. Make an appointment to see the Woodside Priory School up the road, and so on and so forth. Even if you don't go to those schools, it's a pretty good idea to practice going around and talking to the admissions director, because I can show you, I can tell you, from 30 years of experience of doing this, the very first time a student goes to a visit is usually terrible. The student is shy, they don't know what to say, they don't, you know, they fall back. They're walking around, the admissions director has taken a group of students, and they usually kind of fall back and they don't want to. And then by the time they go and they're practiced, and we really go to the school they want to go to, they're right up next to the admissions director saying, whoa, tell me about your orchestra program. Right? Yeah. And then, so you develop that relationship.